Rec League Podcast. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell your family, tell your haters. Available on Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Radio Public, Podchaser, Pocket Cast, Breaker, and Stitcher. At Rec League Podcast on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. At Rec League Pod on Twitter. Episode 62 coming soon. Yo, whether you watching this from Facebook, Twitter, click the link in my Instagram or YouTube itself. What up, world? So I just watched F9, The Fast Saga. I don't know what the official title of this fucking movie is. It is the 10th installment in the Fast and the Furious franchise. Because Hobbs and Shaw was the 9th. It stars Vin Diesel, Michelle Rodriguez, Tyrese, Ludacris, Jordana Brewster, John Cena, Nathalie Emmanuel, Charlize Theron, Kurt Russell, Anna Sawahi, I hope I said her name right. And I feel like I'm forgetting like a huge key player. Oh, Sung Kang. That's my bad. Because that shit was spoiled a year ago. It's directed by Justin Lin, who returns to this franchise for the first movie since Fast and Furious 6. We're with Dom, we're with Letty, we're with the family, and they get rolled up on by Tej, Roman, what's her name? Ramsey. And they got a message from Mr. Nobody, Kurt Russell. So the team needs to assemble and, follow the breadcrumbs that nobody has left them to stop John Cena, who these trailers have been out for a year. We know the reveal. We know John Cena's importance to the story. But I'm not going to say it for somebody who hasn't seen these trailers over the past 16 months. Maybe longer. When the first trailer for this movie come out, last Super Bowl, the one where the Chiefs beat the Niners. But I enjoy this franchise. It's always been good guys versus bad guys. It's always been cops versus criminals. It's always been some kind of good versus bad. And the cool cars and the racing have always been the decoration. Like, this was never a racing franchise. The first movie is Point Break with cars. An undercover cop infiltrating thieves, and whether the surfboard or the car is the device that bonds them, it's just the device. It's not the main focus of the movie. Like Tokyo Drift, which is for whatever reason the most hated movie in this world, is the only one that's like at its core about racing. And so like I enjoy these movies. Like I feel like besides one, every over the top huge unbelievable stunt is explained before they do it. Like, we're gonna have to do this in order to progress to this part of the plan. It, like, in the world, it's believable. But Hobbs and Shaw does some stuff that I don't think fits the universe. This movie tinkers with some stuff that kind of doesn't fit the universe. But with that said, I was looking forward to this. I enjoy these movies. They're fun. They're fun action movies. And like even the Fate of the Furious that didn't, the first movie without Paul Walker, without Brian O'Connor, it was fun because why is Dom a bad guy now? Like there was a fun intrigue. And John Cena being the character that John Cena is a new wrinkle in this 20-year franchise. But he's also a character that I want, like, there's backstory. There's backstory. There's a lot of backstory. There's backstory that goes into the John Cena angle, and there's backstory that goes into the Sung Kang angle. And for me, the only thing missing was the fun. And it was like Tyrese is the comic relief, but I'm sorry, like making the Fate of the Furious, a wedge was driven, I guess, between Vin Diesel and The Rock, which now Vin Diesel is trying to make all these claims, and they're absolutely ridiculous. I'm sorry. The Rock in Fast 5 gives the best performance in this entire franchise. And so 6, 7, 8, and Hobbs and Shaw, he's playing a version of himself, every character that he plays in every other movie he's ever made. Cool. It does the job. But Vin Diesel really hasn't stepped up his acting game in this world. To go off on a little mini tangent, Vin Diesel's best performances in this universe was the Fate of the Furious and F9. He's good in F9. He like I usually say, like, nobody's chasing Oscars in these movies. But, like, Vin Diesel has been good in the last two. Like, you have John Cena. He's the main antagonist. For him and who his character is, there needs to be well, this happened at this time, so this was the outcome. And they don't do that. They just, hey, this is him. This is why you never knew about him. And it's lazy writing. There's lazy plot in this movie. And like me and my dogs on the Rec League podcast, y'all know E-Sig, y'all know Nick Goodman. While I'm like live messaging them, rewatching this series, and we have decided that the Fast and Furious franchise is the king of the retcon. In this movie, they retcon a retcon on top of a retcon, and I did not like it. There are a lot of story choices that I do not like. I'm just gonna say it because it's not a spoiler. It's obvious. Mia Jordana Brewster is a part of the team in this movie after not being a part of the team in like the last 2 or 3. Obviously, Paul Walker can't be in this movie. R.I.P. Paul Walker. Brian O'Connor is one of the best characters in this franchise, period. But they say, like, he's not with us because he's doing this. The character of Brian O'Connor would never do that if shit hit the fan. I'm sorry. It's just, it's lazy. I call bullshit on that. And they do something at the very end, right before the credits, that I feel like is just going to leave too many casual fans making their demands, do this, petition Universal to do this. And when they do that, they're going to cry again. I don't know, they made some bad calls that could hurt the last 2 movies in this series. And they already did, like, Vin Diesel and The Rock beefing, leading The Rock not being in this. Like, it hurt. Like, this movie, like, to me, this movie's not fun. Like, I was disappointed with this movie because Tyrese as the comic relief can only do so much. Like, the Rock and his quips and his going back and forth with whoever, whether it was Jason Statham, whether it was Tyrese, whoever he's talking his shit to was missed. Like, Hobbs was missed in this movie. They do a lot of, like, hey, remember this character? They were in an old movie, and then they're gone. There are characters from past movies who just don't feel like the characters that we knew before. Like, I enjoyed the action and and the poster. Those are the best things about this movie. It kind of feels disconnected from the rest of the series. They do something with one character that I saw coming a million miles away. I'm sure anybody watching, anybody that knows these movies, knew it was coming. Yeah, I like, if they're doing 11, I hope the last two are better than this. Because it's like Charlize Theron is really the only connecting fiber to the last movie, or like it's like you had 6 with you had 5. The Rock was in 5. The Rock was in 6. Elsa Pataki was in those, and then Luke Evans, which snowballed into Jason Statham going for his revenge, which Jason Statham was a part of the team in 8. There's a connection. Charlize Theron is supposed to be that connection. They could have done Scott Eastwood, but Scott Eastwood isn't in this movie. And I thought the writing was lazy. I don't know, like I'm kind of being harder than I want to be on this movie, but I'm also trying to make sure that I'm getting everything I noticed out, because it's like, I don't know, I feel like Godzilla versus Kong. Like, I was excited. The trailer was great. The movie let me down. Like, it kicked me in the balls, and it did not feel good. So yeah, like F9 is one of my least favorite movies in this whole franchise, man. I thought I'd like it more than Hobbs and Shaw. And Hobbs and Shaw does some outlandish shit. There's one throwaway line that connects this movie to Hobbs and Shaw. There is also a mid-credit scene, and it's kind of for shock value. It could set up Fast 10, F10, Fast and Furious 10. Shout out my guy Nick Goodman, Fast 10 your seatbelts. With all that being said, in my opinion, I will say that F9 is solid. It was a letdown. I knew I wasn't gonna like put it in the same level as Fast 5, but I thought it'd be more fun than what we got. It, like, even the setup was rushed. There's no like government sanctioned permission for them to be doing all of this, but it's like on behalf of, I don't know, I don't want to spoil anything. Have you seen F9, man? What you think about it? Positive, negative, somewhere in between? Let me know. I've recently posted reviews for Batman The Long Halloween Part 1, Luca, Fatherhood. Check all of those out, man. Sometime within the next week, maybe week and a half, I want to watch No Sudden Move, The Tomorrow War, The Forever Purge, The Boss Baby, Family Business. The week after Black Widow comes out, super hype, finally new MCU in the theater. So be on the lookout for all of that, man. Rec League Podcast, episode 62, I think. We're going to talk about our 3 favorite movies so far of 2021. So, like, subscribe, comment. Find me where you find me, man. Don't know where to find me. Watch these credits. Peace.